to eat some types. Hello, you're watching BBC News. The US military's secretive X-37B robot spaceplane has blasted off from Florida on its 7th mission. For the first time, it was carried into orbit by a Falcon heavy rocket from Elon Musk's SpaceX. The Pentagon says the orbital vehicle will carry out a series of experiments during its mission. One will involve exposing plant seeds to the effects of radiation during a long space flight. Its last mission lasted more than 900 days. The US launch comes 2 weeks after China sent its own robot space plane into orbit for the 3rd time. Well, let's join Leroy Chow now, who is a former NASA astronaut and International Space Station commander. And Leroy, great to speak to you here on BBC News. There has been quite a bit of mystery surrounding this latest mission. What exactly do we know?
Well, that's right. All the missions remain classified. The first flight was around 2010, so this is the 7th flight. As you've mentioned, 4th one for this particular vehicle. The mission remains classified. The fact that it launched on a Falcon Heavy suggests it's gone into a higher orbit, a deeper space regime, and so higher levels of radiation, probably carrying out similar experiments as it's done in the past, possibly testing new sensors, changing orbits, doing different maneuvers. As you mentioned, NASA has a space seed experiment on board, so we don't really know too much, but we can guess at some of these things.
And of course, with this mission, SpaceX are involved, Elon Musk's company. Why do you think he's getting involved in this one?
Well, I think the U.S. Space Force wanted to get a rocket powerful enough to launch the X-37B into a higher orbit, so Falcon Heavy was a logical choice. It's certainly one of the least expensive choices to go with, and so kind of made sense for the Space Force to use that rocket.
And talking about that rocket, the X-37B plane, many people listening may not know exactly what that is. Just talk us through what that plane is.
Well, sure. It's an automatic spacecraft. It's a winged vehicle, so it goes up on a rocket, comes down under its own, into the atmosphere with its wings, lands on a runway, very much like the space shuttle used to do. Biggest difference, of course, no humans on board this vehicle. As you pointed out, the last mission was around 900 days. So very capable spacecraft. What exactly it's doing, we don't quite know, but obviously an important part of the U.S. Space Force.
And just briefly, Leroy, while we still have you, this, of course, comes after China launched a similar mission. Is this a new space race we're seeing between the US and China?
Well, I think it's a continuing of what has been going on recently in the last several years, certainly with, trying to develop similar capabilities in space. I believe the U.S. still has the lead, but of course, China is working very hard, launching their own space plane for the 3rd time, and probably has a similar mission to the X-37B, but we, of course, don't know for sure. And so, the great game continues.
OK, great. Leroy Chow, really good to have you on the programme. Thank you for your thoughts.